Hi, everyone. We've got a message for women leaders who are getting ready for their next leadership position. And today, Peg Rowe and I are going to be talking about the leadership myth of readiness. I'm Beth Ruske, and as I mentioned, Peg Rowe is my business partner with Tier International. And Peg, let's get started. What is this leadership myth of readiness?
Yeah, so often when we talk to women leaders about, sort of what's next for you, where do you see yourself? They tend to get stuck in this conversation about readiness. Like, well, I've been told I'm not quite ready yet. And so Beth and I, we kind of feel like, is that a way that women get stalled?
Yeah.
That definitely could be part of what's going on here. So today we really want to talk about that. I mean, certainly sometimes people aren't ready. That's a legit thing. But we also want women to be in this position where they're really challenging that for themselves and positioning themselves to move to that next level. So one of the questions we always would say is, when you're getting feedback, is that feedback really serving your growth and development? Or are you being told, wow, you're doing a great job, keep it up? Okay, well, that's great. But then what's next? Is this ensuring my promotability? Am I going to be moving forward? Are you being rewarded for the mastery of your role, yet you're not really encouraged to stretch yourself beyond that? Like, you're doing a great job. We need you in this job. Are you being encouraged to stretch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, I really love this readiness because there's so many ways that I think we get in our own way. And I'm hearing an undertone in what you're describing, Peg, also as taking personal responsibility to be ready.
Exactly.
That's not on anyone else. That's on us. And to be ready. And how do we as leaders actually be ready?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of places I would start, which is, the first one would be just being really self-aware. Like, what are you known for? If you're known for being a tactical leader and your desire is to be promoted to a higher level, you're going to want to challenge yourself around, how do I become more strategic? What do I need to be thinking about? Where do I go with that? So we definitely want you to be operating from a place of self-awareness. Are you adding value to the business? Are you meeting the essential needs of the business? Are you helping move the business forward? Those are the valued leaders who are going to find themselves on the ranks of folks being promoted. When you're solving problems, we all, as leaders, we all solve problems. There are a million problems a day to solve, but are you solving those problems that are creating the kinds of notable results and outcomes that your organization is looking for? So the first thing is almost like this self-assessment, like, okay, where am I? What am I known for? Are these the things that make a difference? Am I really adding, the kind of value that's important to the organization? Am I solving the problems that are important to the organization? If I can say, check, 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 yes to all of that, then I'm going to look at, okay, how am I, to your point, taking responsibility for my own growth and development?
Right.
And that could start with something as simple as you need to declare you're ready to be promoted, letting people know, hey, I think I'm ready to move on.
Right.
And if you're not sure, how that's going to land, there's always a good question of, here's what I would like to do next. Don't just leave it wide open, but actually be clear about, here's what I have in mind. Here's what I'm thinking I'd be interested in moving towards. And then ask your boss or others who know you, what do I need to do to be ready for that?
You raise a great point. So many women that we've talked with over the years have said they're ready for the next, but they don't know what it is. And so then they go to leaders in their organization or mentors or advisors, and they put it out there, but there's no specificity to it. And that specificity is incumbent upon you. And if you don't know, I like what you're saying, Peg, is ask questions to figure it out, or at least get some inkling so that you can bring that to the table. Because if you just bring a clean sheet and say, well, I don't know, but I want something that's next.
Yeah.
It doesn't land well. And it makes you appear less strategic than you want to look.
And when we say be clear about what you want next, it's not just the position. It's not like, I'd like to be a VP. I'd like to be a director. No, what is it that you want to do? Where do you want to focus? People want to help you. If you're doing a great job, people want to help you and they want to support you in moving along, but you have to do your part of being more specific about what it is you'd like to do and where you'd like to go. And you might surprise yourself. Somebody might say, that sounds like a perfect thing for you to be aiming for. Or, hey, I think there's even something over here that could be great with your background and your knowledge. So bringing that specificity and that willingness, it takes a certain amount of courage to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But that's the way you're going to get the feedback that will be the most useful.
And I also hear being open to the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to one of the messages you started this conversation with, and that was about, this myth of readiness. Readiness is not waiting for you to be 100% check every box. Now I can do the job, right? It's not that. What else isn't it? So we want women to recognize
it's not
this.
sitting in your job, doing a good job, saying, I've been doing a good job for 2 years. I'm waiting for somebody to tap me on the shoulder and tell me I'm ready.
Right.
It's
you wait a long time for that.
Yeah. Yeah, because here's the thing. Selfishly, if you're doing a great job and you appear to be happy in the job that you're doing, some folks and some organizations may go, great, that's an important role. We need that filled, and we've got somebody who loves doing it and is interested in staying there. If you don't make your desire to move forward, apparent to others, then they may be very happy for you actually to stay in that role. And it may be a long time before somebody does tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, we think you're ready.
So being willing and able to promote yourself, it requires that, as Peg said, you be aware of your strengths, where you're willing to stretch, how you might like to stretch. And then, of course, it's, making it known that you want to stretch.
Right.
And those are just the beginning stages and beginning steps to help debunk this, are you ready myth?
Yes. Right.
So if this message is resonating with you and you're hearing or recognizing yourself in this dialogue or someone we'd love to have a conversation with you.
Yes.
So click the links below, have a conversation with us, and learn more about the TR Leading with Impact programs that we offer for professional and senior women. Thank you for joining us.